Hey guys, I was just thinking how much easier would it have been for God to just let go of us and let us just do whatever we want to do, be however we want to be. Just let us go completely into eternal damnation. I'm always amazed at the arrogance that and the arrogant approach that people has towards God. Like, you need to prove this, you need to show me that, and I'm not going to do this. And, I want to say at some point in my life, to some degree, because I always had, I didn't want to go too far with God, but I want to say that there were times where I didn't say you better prove it to me, or prove yourself to me, but I would just get irritated at the idea that I'm supposed to submit. I would get irritated at the idea of just how complex the Christian walk seemed to be. And I just didn't want to do that. So whenever I would hear stuff about God, it would just kind of annoy me, because it just felt too cumbersome. But guys, it was just a position of my heart. A lot of times when people are that way, it's because there are other things you want to do, right? There are other things you want to do. And then you're like, well, if I'm supposed to do this walk, why can't it be less complicated? But guys, it's complicated because we feel like there are other ways to do it, or there's a better way, an easier way to go about it. But I think the reason why we may have felt that way, or I felt that way, is because we cannot grasp the reward and what heaven is going to be all about. We can't wrap our mind around it. And then sometimes we feel like, well, why can't I just get in then? Why can't you just let me in? Why can't it just be easier? But guys, we have to go through a process because we are spirit. While we are in this flesh, this body that you see in the mirror, we're going to shed this body, and your spirit. So whatever your impulses and dispositions are, that's coming from that's a spiritual influence. And that's what you will be in the supernatural. So if you practice evil and you do evil, that's what you're going to draw to, and that's what you're going to do. So there are things that God has to teach us now, to show us now. And by the power of the Holy Spirit and His Word helps us to change, to make us more and more like Christ. We won't be God. We are not gods. We are not ruling like Him, guys, but we will become one with Him. But He is sovereign. And that takes a process. And we do our part, and the Holy Spirit will do the rest. So that when you shed your eternal body, you have already been trying to, or you have already been, how do I put this? You are already prone to walking in the fruits of the Spirit versus the flesh, obeying God, desiring to worship God, desiring for His Word. If you don't desire those things and you don't want to follow His instructions, how are you going to spend eternity with Him? You know what I mean? So whatever you are doing in this flesh, you're not going to come out in your spirit. Your spirit man is not going to come out and just be all sweet and innocent. No. Your spirit man is going to be just as dark as it was now, but darker and worse, because you're spirit. So that's why we have to go through the process of transformation, and it may seem hard. But if it seems hard, it's just because your flesh don't like it. Our flesh don't like certain things. But the more you come to the Lord, the more He transforms you. Then you find you desire the Word. Guys, if you don't desire the Word, when you're trying to read the Word, you just, Guys, it's because you're full. You're already filled up with something else. If I go and I eat a bowl of pasta right now, even if I desire something else, I'm not going to be able to. As a matter of fact, I won't desire it because I'm full. I'm full. So that's what it is. You're already full. What are you filled up with? Well, whatever it is that you spend your time looking at, whatever you spend your time doing, that's what's filling you up. So then you're so full, you don't have room for the word. Ask the Lord to change your desires and your appetites and your impulses and make the sacrifices, guys, to obey and just do the things He's told you to do. Obedience is not slavery. But it's like when you tell your child, look both ways before you cross the street. Well, you're not trying to hold that child down. You're showing them stuff and you hope they obey you, because if they don't obey you, it won't turn out well for them. They may get away a few times, but at some point they'll see why you are always warning them. So guys, be thankful that in spite of it all, in spite of where you are right now, God has not just thrown in the towel on you. Those of us that's come to Christ, thank God that He was patient with us and He was kind to us even when we didn't deserve it. Let's stop thinking about this world and all that's around us. You're not going to be here. And everything that you work for and everything that you build and everything that you get, when you leave this world, you're going to leave it behind. You're going to leave it behind. And even if you have a will and you bequeath everything to this person and that person, you're still leaving everything behind. But what you will be faced with is eternity. So let's be thankful for the sacrifices that Christ made for us and His patience with us and not letting us go. All right, guys. Peace out.